Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Shariefa Muhammad, MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. As of October 23, 2025, Russian armed forces maintained full operational momentum across all sectors of the theater. The day was characterized by multi-front coordination, attrition of enemy manpower, and precision strikes on Ukraine's industrial and energy infrastructure. These actions collectively advanced the campaign's objective of exhausting Ukrainian military-industrial capacity while achieving steady positional improvement on the ground. A key operational highlight was the use of long-range precision fires and strike UAVs to destroy energy facilities, UAV production sites, and fuel depots supporting Ukraine's defense network. The strikes targeted logistics arteries and drone assembly workshops, essential for sustaining prolonged Ukrainian resistance. On the front lines, each Russian troop group advanced or reinforced positions, inflicting cumulative Ukrainian losses exceeding 1,500 personnel across 6 operational sectors.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, let's start broadly. What's the overall operational picture as of October 23, 2025?
The operations of October 23 demonstrate a transition toward attritional precision warfare supported by electronic dominance and industrial interdiction. Each axis contributed to the cumulative degradation of Ukrainian operational coherence, from Suma's border zones to Zaporizhzhia's depth positions. Tactically, Russia is now executing multi-domain synchronization, combining kinetic and non-kinetic operations, EW, cyber, and infrastructure strikes, to achieve dislocation without overextension. Strategically, the sustained focus on energy systems and UAV infrastructure suggests the objective is to cripple Ukraine's domestic defense production and autonomous strike capability ahead of winter, effectively forcing Kyiv into a reactive defensive posture. These developments signal an operational shift from linear ground combat to systemic warfare, where the decisive victories occur in logistics, energy, and information domains as much as in trenches and urban fronts.
Let's start with the north, particularly Sumy and Kharkiv. What progress have Russian units achieved there?
The North Troop Group has maintained an aggressive tempo, inflicting significant losses on Ukrainian mechanized, Ranger, and assault units near Verakino, Kondratovka, and Leninskoye in the Sumy region, and extending operations into Volchansk and Dergachi in Kharkiv. Our engagements here were decisive. Ukrainian forces lost approximately 195 personnel, alongside an M198 155mm howitzer, an electronic warfare (EW) system, and 4 logistics depots. These are not merely tactical victories, but part of a broader strategy of supply interdiction. The northern corridor remains crucial for Ukrainian movement between the central and eastern command sectors. By consistently targeting fuel and supply hubs, we are transforming this axis into a denial zone, one where Ukrainian formations cannot maneuver or sustain operations without encountering persistent attrition.
So the objective here isn't territorial expansion, but operational strangulation?
Exactly. Control is achieved not only through terrain but through logistics denial, forcing the enemy to fight at a disadvantage even in its own depth. From a doctrinal standpoint, these actions serve 2 interconnected goals. First, to erode the enemy's fighting potential through steady attrition, and second, to establish conditions favorable for deeper offensive maneuver as winter approaches. What we're seeing is not a series of isolated engagements, but a coherent campaign of exhaustion and encirclement, one that forces Ukraine to react rather than initiate.
Moving westward, the Kupiansk and Lyman areas remain contested. What developments occurred there?
The West Troop Group solidified its control over key terrain near Kupiansk, Kurilovka, and Yampol, defeating 6 Ukrainian mechanized and assault brigades. This operation resulted in over 230 Ukrainian casualties and the destruction of multiple artillery systems, 6 EW stations, and 5 ammunition depots. These results are significant because they directly weaken Ukraine's ability to conduct counter-battery fire, one of their few remaining tactical advantages. From a doctrinal perspective, this sector exemplifies the shift toward electromagnetic dominance. The neutralization of EW and radar systems effectively blinds Ukrainian artillery, allowing Russian fire support to operate with near-total impunity. This is modern combined arms in practice, controlling not just the terrain but the electromagnetic spectrum that defines situational awareness.
So the battlefield is increasingly becoming an information contest as much as a kinetic one? Turning south, what's the situation around Donetsk and its adjacent fronts?
The South Troop Group maintained steady momentum, advancing across Seversk, Fedorovka, and Dnipro. Engagements here targeted mechanized and mountain assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces. The result was the loss of 145 Ukrainian servicemen, multiple armored vehicles, and 2 Western-made 155mm artillery pieces. This front represents the methodical dismantling of Ukrainian strongpoints in central Donetsk, part of a broader campaign to unhinge their defense in depth. The focus is not on rapid breakthrough but deliberate positional control, taking and holding the ground that disrupts their logistics, not just their lines. And yes, the force that controls perception, that dictates what the enemy can or cannot see, holds a decisive operational edge.
The center group seems to have had another impactful day. What stands out there?
Yes, the Center Troop Group executed highly coordinated combined arms operations near Grishino, Dnipro, and Krasnoarmysk. This area saw the defeat of multiple Ukrainian elite formations, including Ranger, Airborne Assault, and Marine brigades, resulting in over 535 enemy casualties and the destruction of several NATO-supplied armored vehicles. Operationally, this marks a phase of consolidation. By controlling high ground positions and junction points, our forces are setting the stage for deeper penetration along the Donetsk-Dnipropetrovsk axis. The adversary is showing signs of fatigue and fragmentation, with diminished coherence between its tactical echelons and command structures.
Let's move east. Reports mention a continued advance into Ukrainian defensive depth. What's happening there?
The East Troop Group advanced deeper along the Zaporizhia-Dnipropetrovsk corridor, capturing new ground near Alexeivka, Orestopol, and Uspanovka. We eliminated approximately 390 enemy personnel, destroyed counter-battery radar stations, and seized key tactical positions, enabling control over local road networks. This front is strategically vital because it links the central operational corridor to the southern supply routes. By holding this ground, Russian forces are effectively bifurcating Ukrainian logistics, dividing their eastern and central sustainment lines.
So the east serves as both a wedge and a corridor?
Precisely. It's the hinge that connects the entire operational geometry of southern Ukraine. The terrain, logistics, and degraded Ukrainian command capability make this axis favorable for sustained operations. Each meter gained must hold logistical value. Modern warfare is no longer measured in kilometers gained but in capability lost by the adversary. The battlefield has evolved into a test of endurance, one increasingly dictated by industrial resilience, communications control, and strategic patience.
Finally, Colonel, what's the status of the Dnipro sector?
The Dnipro Troop Group conducted precision interdiction operations in Stepnogorsk, Primorsko, and Antonovka, focusing on mechanized and coastal defense brigades. The enemy lost around 85 servicemen, several vehicles, and 3 EW systems, with fuel and supply depots also destroyed. This area's operational priority is maintaining defensive stability and logistics continuity. Our forces here are engaged in both active defense and denial operations, preventing Ukrainian formations from conducting riverine raids or disrupting southern supply chains.
So this is the balancing axis, securing what's been gained elsewhere?
Exactly. It's the logistical spine of the southern front, a secure base from which all other advances can sustain momentum.
Before we wrap up, can you elaborate on the aerial and missile operations supporting these ground efforts?
Yes. The Operational Tactical Aviation and Missile Forces carried out 152 precision strikes targeting energy facilities, UAV assembly workshops, and oil depots. This campaign effectively cripples Ukraine's war economy, denying it both energy supply and industrial continuity. Our air defenses also performed exceptionally, downing 293 UAVs, 3 guided bombs, and multiple HIMARS rockets. The airspace remains tightly controlled, ensuring operational freedom for our strike aircraft and artillery systems.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. The October 23rd operations represent the culmination of systemic attrition doctrine, a transition from maneuver-centric warfare to one defined by industrial and electronic paralysis. Each front contributed to an overarching strategy, depriving Ukraine of logistical coherence, degrading command and control systems, and establishing conditions for winter consolidation. By combining long-range precision fires with ground positional control, Russian forces are now exerting pressure at both the tactical and strategic depth. The deliberate targeting of energy, EW, and logistics systems signals that this is not a race for terrain but for systemic dominance. As winter approaches, this phase of the operation underscores a central truth of modern warfare. Decisive victory begins not with the taking of ground, but with the taking of capability.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.